The attack, what I can make of it is that the terrorists are becoming audacious, they are becoming emboldened, and it shows that maybe a reversal of gain we seems to be making in the northeast, it seems is being reversed in the other part of the country. So it calls for a call for concern for any well-meaning Nigeria and those who have the interests of national security and the overall development of the country at heart. So it's an alarming signal. It's not something that we should be taking lightly, but whether those who have the authority or be entrusted to ensure that things are done and taking it seriously is another discussion.
Are looking at some of the security breach which happened in the last 24 hours. One on the convoy of the advance party in the president's convoy heading to Daura for the Eid, the Salah celebration, and also what happened here in the nation's capital, the seat of power, the attack on the correctional facility in Kuje. Senator Erebu is here in the studio. Before we went on that break, we were looking at the implication on the breach on the president's convoy. Senator, many are asking that if this can happen to the president, the convoy of the president, then who is safe? Is the president's life now at risk?
In the greater scheme of things, his life may not be at risk, but it shows that the security around him could be breached. And like you said, if the security of the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, that's the number one top guy when you talk about security in the country, could be breached, then you ask who is safe. Obviously, from what has been happening ever since, for a long time now, most Nigerians are not safe. And as the president advance team was being attacked, when the news was filtering in, another ugly incident was also happening in the FCT. So, and this is the one we've had. A lot are also happening across the country that give a damning verdict of how insecure the country is, or the growing spate of insecurity. And it also shows that for the president advance team to be attacked, there must be an intelligence breach. So we should begin to ask also, is there an insider information? Because before they could organize themselves, they must have information of such movement and where to carry out the attack. So it means that some things are not going well within the present, and it's from that angle you can say, okay, his life may be at risk, but bear in mind that the president, in as much as most Nigerians take through the road, the president, I'm not sure when he wants to go back to Katsina, he applies, if I've ever, for the past many years, because immediately he took over, a helipad was built. Apart from that, Katsina has an airport. A helipad was built in his hometown in Daura, so he can easily fly from Abuja to his hometown. But these are the advanced team that goes ahead to make sure that things are secured properly. But it's still it's an audacious move. It's an audacious attack.
For being the number one citizen of the country, the president is the father of the nation at the moment. And he may not be attacked because of the security apparatus around him, but his family members, his relatives, and the entire country, which God has naturally kept under his care, at least for this period he's occupying the presidency. And so, if this thing is happening consistently, and we're not seeing, commensurate effort to tackle the problem, who is to blame?
The buck stops on his table. It's the president, like I said, he's the commander-in-chief. That's why Nigerian is called president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Also, across the globe, that's how it is. But for Nigerian own, it was emphasized. And a lot of power, enormous power, is given to that office to make sure that when it comes to matter of security, he takes the lead. He's in charge. So if there's any blame, it comes back to him. So sometimes I see people blame every other person apart from him. No, it comes from him first. Any blame should go to the president.
But isn't that why there are parastatals that take care of these things?
That's
the
why
president wouldn't carry gun and go and
that's
fight.
why the president.
And we've heard him severally tell the security personnel, go out there, shoot aside, take charge, deal with these bandits once and for all. In
this country, we have over 200 million people. Within the parastatal you're talking about, there are a lot of qualified people, and that's why he was given the power to hire and fire in most instances. And that's why, as a president, he has to choose the team that can do the work. And nothing stops him if they can perform to fire. So that's why I'm saying the blame should start from the top. Because that top is the one that appoints, is the one that that makes the decision, is the one that has the overall picture of the security issues. So just in any organization, if you organize a team and they are not effective, you begin to do re-examine your team and look at the weak point, and you can rejig it. You can make other appointment or replacement. So that's what his job is. So this issue of every time we blame, not that we can't blame respective those who have given specific task, but what I'm saying, what is the action of the commander-in-chief? If such a person appointed can carry out those tasks effectively for the protection of Nigerians, what did you do? Is it just to issue, we didn't elect president to be issuing press statement. We elected president for the protection of life. We know it's a difficult job, and that's why every resource is being provided, both in humanitarian, both in institutional, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of human resources. So in terms of everything that you can think of is provided. It's not as if, okay, the president is God, but the country need to see that president is doing the maximum. Proactively. So that's what we're saying.
Now, we must no doubt commend the effort of our security personnel, gallant security personnel who have, in the face of the challenges, several challenges, many of which, they do not come out to say most times, try to keep this nation secure. We saw what happened in Shiroro. We saw the number of persons that were killed, fathers, brothers, children of families. In Katsina also, yesterday, there was an attack in Dutsima, the Dutsima axis, where an assistant commissioner of police was killed. Bandits ambushed and killed the assistant commissioner of police. Then the issue of the president convoy came up. Now, the Minister of Culture and Information, Lai Mohammed, faulted former President Olusegun Obasanjo's claim that President Muhammadu Buhari has been overwhelmed by the issue of insecurity. Also, the Abuja attack. Do you think that our security agencies are overwhelmed?
I would say the security situation is overwhelming, but our security agencies may not be overwhelmed because when we say they're overwhelmed, we mean that maybe they lack the capacity to handle situation. But when you look at everything holistically, there are other factors at play that can limit the effectiveness.
Factors like what?
Okay, the political will. For example, there's always command and control when it comes to security operation. They cannot go outside their scope of operation or the directive they are given. For example, what is happening in the Northwest now has not really been defined. Sometimes we don't even, we call it body language or the communication that is coming from the commander-in-chief is not really clear. Sometimes these security agencies are even confused how to react or respond effectively. So you find out and that's even the word, react. We've been doing reactionary, and it's not supposed to be so. There have to be a holistic approach to what is going on. We have not effectively defined what is going on in various, and then devise effective strategy that is institutionalized in a way to be able, so that whatever the actions that to be taken, is it by the armed forces, is it by the police, can be defined and given defined target that they can achieve. And failure to achieve such a person or this thing there will be sanctions. But now nothing. We don't even know what is going on. After every enormous attack, the president will go and have closed door meeting with security chiefs, and they issue press statements, and what else? So this is where the issue is. But now, if the situation continue like this, they can be overwhelmed. They are overstretched, but they are not overwhelmed. But if they continue becoming overstretched, that's when you know the country can collapse, can implode with what is happening, because they can't be everywhere. And that's also why I'm saying there are other factors. When the political issues are not being addressed, the social issues are not being addressed, and that's why when you're looking at the security situation, we are not just looking at physical security itself or the kinetic aspect of it. The non-kinetic aspect of it, is it being addressed? Tackling security is not just deploying the police, deploying the armed forces and other intelligence and law enforcement agencies. There are other issues like political exclusion, like things that are causing unrest, like the issue of poverty. There is growing, people are being economically disenfranchised or emasculated. So a lot of Nigerians are thrown into a jobless situation, and crime has increased. So if this situation that give rise keep on popping up here and there, if you like have like 500,000 or 1 million foot soldiers,
they will not be able to overcome that. Okay, so you raised something about intelligence breach, in something like that, may have happened in this attack on the convoy, because of course someone would have known that they were going and all of that, because it was an ambushed attack. All right, so we know that there are you've heard about gathering intelligence before now to deal with insecurity. Even during the Abuja Kaduna train attack, we understand there was also intelligence which was not intelligence report which was not properly harnessed. Even this attack on the Kuje prison, we also gathered that there was also intelligence that one of the correctional facilities may likely be attacked, and we still have these issues happen. So, having been in this field, how do you think the government should be dealing with intelligence gathering to deal with the situation? Okay, it comes both vertical and horizontal, and like I say, every factor has to work, but the effectiveness of any situation, leadership is enormous. Leadership has a lot of impact. It rubs off. Sometimes if you see a vibrant president, it begins to rub off on even the ministers. But sometimes when the president is lackluster, it begins to rub off on cascade down. So sometimes when you see that there is this kind of body language of attitude of laissez-faire, everybody will go to Portugal and stay when in other country, if things, even if they're outside the country, they hear there's a killing or 2 or 3, they cancel such and trip and come back. But our own, as they are killing, they are going. Then we have a key presidential card. This one is in France, this one is in Dubai, this one is in, Then it gives a kind of laissez-faire attitude to other foot soldiers. So now you can't tell me, for example, that because from the information I gathered, those who attacked in about 300 bikes, and you are telling me that nobody from that village, from the community, saw these people have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 30 motorbikes that make noise and move with weapons
and no information, no
What about even the attack on Kuje? Was there? Did they not?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just using this to give a general example of what is happening. Now, apart from the leadership, he now talks about our structure. We are the only federalist state or federalist country that is unitary in operation. The local governance system has collapsed. So that's why there's no actionable intelligence or early warning system from the community. That's why if you have community and state policing, you can, before things happen, there can be need in the board. Information will come immediately from the grassroots. Then our local government system has collapsed. We don't even have local, before when we are growing up, we have active, effective local government areas.
Senator, we'll just have to leave this discussion at this. Actionable intelligence, the need for state police, and also body language for you. There's a need to have that political
effective leadership from the top down.
All right, many thanks indeed. Senator Erebu is a former defense correspondent and security analyst. He's joined us this morning to look at some of the security breach which were recorded in the last 24 hours and what should be done going forward. Many thanks indeed for your time this morning.
You're welcome.
All right, have a pleasant day. Okay, we take a moment.